how do I address, like, hi? Okay, I'm just gonna start this off. Okay, come on, we're done. Okay. Welcome, everybody, to my channel. I don't know how to start this video, so I'm just gonna be awkward and start it like this. I wanted to talk about some easy beginner houseplants for people who are just starting out with plants, or they want to get into plants and they don't really know where to start. Things like water, sunlight, temperature in your house, the humidity, all these things actually contribute to how a plant functions. Disclaimer, I am not a plant expert. I'm not claiming to be, but I'm gonna try my best. I don't want to embarrass myself, and the Latin names are very hard to pronounce. Without further ado, let's get into talking about some plants today. First plant on my list is the spider plant. You're gonna want to give spider plants as much light as possible, bright indirect light. You can get away with low light or medium light, but they do like as much light as possible. That's gonna pretty much apply to any plant. Spider plants you can water probably about every 7 to 10 days. The variegated spider plants are going to like more light, and that applies for pretty much all variegated plants. Variegation is actually when a plant is not one solid color. It may have different colors. So a plant may be variegated with white, it could be variegated with yellow, it could be variegated with pink. It's literally just anything that's not just like a solid leaf. Viditatum, I think that's how you say it, but they look like this. It's the white in the middle and then the green on the outsides. This is a bigger version. So you can probably tell why they have the name spider plant. They kind of look like a spider, a little bit. This would be the variegatum. So this actually has the green in the middle and then the white on the outsides. This is another variegatum, so this is just a smaller version. Just the original all green spider plant. As you can see, he's just all green. He doesn't have any white or any variegation, or just plain green. So a Bonnie spider plant is just a curly spider plant. Bonnies always come variegated. One really cool thing about spider plants is they produce a lot of babies. So what you'll actually see is it will shoot an offshoot out of the plant. Little babies will actually appear on these little offshoots. You can just literally put those babies into soil. You can put them into water as well, and then they'll grow roots. But you have to wait until your spider plant's mature enough to shoot out babies. Another really cool thing about those little offshoots is they actually could flower. The next plant is Pothos. They're very popular. They're vining plants, so they give that really cool cascading look. You probably water them once every about 7 to 10 days. Once again, that varies. There are tons of different types of pothos. I'm gonna name a couple. Pothos can get absolutely huge. The vines are 40 feet long, like it's insane. I see some really giant pothos when I went to Dominican Republic. Someone just rang my doorbell. This is what was at my door. Oh my gosh, they're so pretty. Okay, so I'm like way off track. I completely forgot where I even was anymore now. I'm just gonna name some pothos varieties for you guys. See, normal jade green pothos. It's just all green, super duper simple. It's the original pothos. The golden pothos is probably one of the most popular. I see it more than any pothos. I have one that has pretty long vines now. They're probably about like 3-4 feet now. I got mine actually attached to my wall because I have nowhere where it can hang down without it touching the floor. The golden pothos, the variegation on it could be very speckled, or it could be a little bit more chunky. We got the marble queen pothos. The marble queen has very speckled variegation, as you guys can see. Marble queens aren't my fave. We also have the pearl and jade pothos. Kind of similar to the marble queen, but the variegation is a lot more blocky. Right here, I have a neon pothos. I really do like the neon pothos. I think it's very different compared to a lot of the other plants I have as far as like the leaf color. It does grow a lot slower, I find, than my golden pothos. The satin pothos is a little bit different. The leaf is a lot thicker and the leaf is a little bit more fuzzy. That's the only way I can really explain it. You would have to feel it to know. These ones also grow very slow, I found. We have the Cebu Blue. The Cebu Blue pothos is kind of greenish, kind of bluish, kind of silverish. It's pretty cool. I don't have any plants in my collection that are like blues. So leaves are a little bit more pointy and elongated compared to the other pothos that I've shown you. So yeah, these are just some different pothos. I wanted to show you different varieties of each plant. Maybe you haven't seen all these kinds. I can't tell if this video is really long. There's so many things to talk about, you know? Next up, we got Philodendron scandens. Philodendron is just an absolutely huge plant family. There's no way that I could list all the philodendrons right now. I did want to shout out some really cool philodendrons just so you can kind of get a general idea of how different philodendrons can actually be from each other. So some honorable mentions: Philodendron Pink Princess. This plant has really pretty pink variegation. It could be more sectoral, could be more speckled. This is actually also a vining plant. Philodendron Prince of Orange. This plant is actually on my wish list. This plant is so cool. I don't have anything like it. As you guys can see, leaves come out just like completely different colors. We got the Philodendron Silver Sword. Very silver looking. As you can see, the leaves are kind of more elongated. I don't know how to say this name. Philodendron melanochrysum. I think that's correct. This one looks so cool. I would love to have this in my collection. The leaves look a little bit more softer and more velvety. I just wanted to highlight some really cool philodendrons. I'm going to be talking about the scandens. Regular dark green philodendron scandens. Leaves look like literal perfect hearts. I really do like the all plain green. It looks very classic. We have the Philodendron Lemon Lime. This one is a bright green. I like it. I would have it, you know. We also got the Philodendron Brazil. Really cool variegation. So it's either just like a stripe all the way down the leaf, or sometimes you can get some really funky leaves, sectorally variegated. This actually started out with literally like 2 leaves, no joke. The brother of the Brazil, we actually got the Rio. So I just found about this one yesterday. So it looks the exact same as the Philodendron Brazil, but the variegation, it's not yellow, it's like a silver. And last but not least, for the philodendrons, we have the coveted Micans. This is actually a wish list plant for me. This one grows a little bit slower compared to the other ones. The leaves are darker. They're a little bit more like burgundy kind of looking. Philodendron you can water probably about every 7 to 10 days. As time goes on, you'll get more adjusted and more accustomed, and you'll start to understand when you're supposed to be watering. These plants like bright indirect light. They can tolerate low light, just like the pothos and the spider plant. These plants are extremely easy to propagate, just like the pothos. Also can grow upwards. So they can grow up things, they can grow on moss poles. Last but not least, the very last plant that I'm going to be talking about today, Monstera deliciosa. Everybody wants a deliciosa. Everybody. So one thing a lot of people don't know, there are actually 2 versions of it. So there is the deliciosa, which is the version that you would see with the giant leaves and the giant holes and the huge splits. There's also Monstera borzigiana. The borzigiana looks the exact same as the deliciosa, but it's a little bit smaller. It'll have less holes in the leaves. Absolutely no clue whether mine's a borzigiana or a deliciosa. Honestly, it doesn't matter to me because they look the exact same. Ultimately, it just doesn't get as big. So when they're babies, they have full leaves. The leaves come out with no splits. As the plant matures and gets older, the Monstera actually starts to develop holes in the leaves. Monstera deliciosa Thai constellation. Got the really cool variegation, the speckled variegation, kind of like an off-white / yellow. Monstera borzigiana elbow. So this is going to be the smaller version of the Monstera. And this one actually has white variegation. So this variegation is going to be a lot more blocked out, as you're going to be able to see. They're very, very, very expensive and very, very, very sought after. We also have the alba. So the alba is going to have a yellow variegation, but it's going to be the exact same thing. So also a borzigiana, therefore smaller. The Monstera is actually a family of plants, and there's many, 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 many different types of Monstera, so I just wanted to give one honorable mention because I have another Monstera and I just wanted to show it. So this is the Monstera carstenium, I think is how you pronounce it, or the Monstera Peru. Unlike the deliciosa, these leaves are actually textured, which is really cool. I just wanted to show a different type of Monstera. Some quick care tips with the Monstera is you're going to water it once again about every 7 to 10 days. You're going to want bright indirect light once again. Fun fact, Monstera can flower. The flowers are very ugly, but it can. I really hope that you enjoyed watching this video if you made it this far. I did work very hard. I researched 4 hours and I sat here and filmed 4 hours, and now I'm going to edit 4 hours. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram because that's just what people do these days.